Mike here. It is Monday, June 5th, 2017. I got home from work a little bit ago, and I had other plans. I was going to cut down a couple dead trees in the yard, but it poured down rain a little bit ago, and I'll make a mess of things if I try that tonight. So I figured I'd do a little shooting, and I want to show you a couple different pistols. I call them like small, concealed carry. One is a Glock 42 380, and the other is a Kimber Micro 9. So one's 9mm, one's a 380, but they're kind of comparable in size and even weight. And but I'll show them both to you, see what you think. Okay, what we have here, we've got a Kimber Micro 9 made in Yonkers, New York, believe it or not. Hard to believe that state actually makes guns. But this is an aluminum frame. It's a 9mm. It's got a 6-round capacity with this magazine, but they also send a 7-round, like an extended mag. Like I said, it's 9mm, and I like shooting it with the 7-round, not just because of the capacity, but this little extension here gives you something for your pinky to wrap around. Kind of like that. Next up, we've got the Glock 42, all polymer. No safety on this except for the one on the trigger. And it's a 380 with a 6-round capacity. Now, although they're two totally different guns, they have a lot in common, really. I wish I had waited and got the Glock 43. But like everything else, they put this one out, the 42. Everyone buys a bunch of them, then they wait a few months and put out the 9mm, the Glock 43. I would rather carry a 9 than a 380, but this Kimber comes with the built-in Crimson Trace sight, laser sight. You can see it right there. To activate it, there's a little pressure point right here. And then on this side there's a little switch, so if you're not using it for a while you can turn that off right here, but if you're carrying it, just leave it on. The laser won't come on. You want to be careful what kind of holster you have, that it's not activating the switch when it's in the holster, but I do like the Crimson Trace. You can see by looking at them, they're both pretty close to the same size. Put the Micro 9 over top of the Glock over top of the Micro 9. Very similar in size. The barrel length on the Kimber is 3.15 inches. It's a little barrel. These are basically like a mini 1911. I mean, you look at it, that's what it is. The barrel length on the Glock is 3.25 inches, just slightly longer. Trigger pull on both of these are kind of stiff, really, but the Kimber comes from the factory just about 7 pounds of trigger pull, so it's pretty stiff. And the Glock 42 comes in at 5.5 pounds trigger pull. I would really like to shoot a Glock 43, the 9mm. One reason in particular, this Micro 9, you've got to hold on to this little thing. I mean, it's wanting to kind of jump around in your hand a little bit, and that's what I said earlier. You definitely want to use, at least for me, I like this extended mag, something to get your pinky around a little bit, but it jumps around a little bit on you. The Glock 42, I know it's just a 380, but there's not a lot of recoil with this. It's pretty easy to control. A lot of it comes down to personal preference, but I have a lot of bigger handguns, like I have a Glock 17, I've got a couple full-size 1911s, I've got my favorite, actually, well, I shouldn't say favorite, the one I shoot the best is actually a Smith & Wesson Pro 40, I think it's called. Yeah, that thing there, I really like it. But you're not going to carry a gun that big around. At least I'm not. I mean, the thing's huge. Some guys hate polymer frames. Some guys love them. Glocks, though, I have several. They work every time. I mean, they're just a great gun. Okay, I'm going to shoot both of them now, and then I'll slow the video down so you can see the recoil on each. See, so far for me, the Micro 9, I definitely shoot better with it. However, it has an unfair advantage. It has the laser on it. My eyes are not what they used to be. I can see very well far away, but I need reading glasses to read. It's kind of tough with these little pistols because you know, if you wear glasses, you can really focus in on the sights, but the target's blurry. And if you don't wear your glasses, the target's clear, the sights are blurry. But I'll shoot another 7 out of the Micro 9 and 6 out of the 42. Try to tighten these groups up a little bit, we'll see. So I circled these in black so I can tell. Distance, by the way, is 12 yards. Not exactly long range shooting, but you don't carry these little pistols to shoot long range. You can see I tightened this pattern up a little bit with the Glock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Had one high one. And the Kimber this time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know where the 7th one is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think here. Hit one of those other holes. 7. So the Micro 9 still a little bit better. Glock 42. Not too shabby though. Like I said, it's only 12 yards, but they're just they're tiny little pistols. I think if I practice with these more, which I should, because when I shoot, I'm always shooting my bigger guns, and I should practice more with these little ones. Now, the biggest thing with these two guns, a lot of it comes down to personal preference. Not just how well you shoot it, but what you feel comfortable with. Like this Glock, there is no safety on this gun. I kind of like it. I mean, in a situation where you need your gun, hopefully you're never in that position, but when you really need your gun, if you don't practice with these all the time, you know, at least once a week, it needs to be second nature. And if you don't, you're going to be fumbling around. This one here is pretty much, I hate to say it, idiot proof. I mean, you got a round in the chamber, you pull the trigger, it goes bang. Pretty easy. Now the Kimber, this freaks a lot of people out, but this is a, you know, like I said, it's like a mini 1911. So this is how you carry it. I mean, the hammer's back, you know, you got a round in the chamber. Some people, you know, I've read where some people, they'll take the safety off, try to drop this hammer down, and they feel like it's safer. Well, two things. One, with that hammer on the firing pin, I guess technically it could go off. Two, you know, when you're trying to let that hammer down, best case scenario, you know, your ears ring for a little bit. Worst case, you shoot a hole in your foot or something trying to decock it. So this is the way you carry these. I mean, the safety's on, and this safety clicks right off in a hurry. But you know, if you have to draw this thing, click the safety off, it's ready to go. But like I said, to each their own. You know, whichever you feel more comfortable with. Now for me, I'm thinking between these two, I prefer the Kimber. This Kimber, it retails, I think, for like $750. Pretty pricey. I didn't pay close to that for this. This was on sale at a place called Fin Feather Fur over in Ohio, and I think it was $6.49. And I thought I was saving money, right? I go to Ohio, yeah, I'll take this Kimber. Next thing I know, they have to ship it to Pennsylvania for me to go pick it up there because I'm a PA resident and I bought it in Ohio. So I paid for it there. Then they ship it to a place. I had to drive 45 minutes to go get it. But I mean, whatever. But it's, yeah, I like this. So yeah, $750 retail. I got it for like $6.49. I think these Glock 42s are probably around $430 retail. I can't remember what I paid for this, but I'm sure it was less. But yeah, either or, but I have to say my personal preference is this Kimber. And not just because it's a 9mm. I think I'd feel the same way if I was shooting a Glock 43 in 9mm instead of the Glock 42 in 380. And no matter what you do, you know, whichever gun you decide, something like this Glock 42 or this Kimber Micro 9, or, you know, there's dozens, hundreds of other options out there. But whatever you feel comfortable with, make sure you get a good holster for your gun. Like I said, this Glock right here, pull the trigger, it's going bang. This Kimber, once that safety's down, it's going bang. And remember that guy a few years back? He used to play for the Steelers, actually. Plexiglass, I call him. Plexico Burris. Yeah, old Plexiglass. He shot himself in the leg in a nightclub in Pittsburgh one night. Had a pistol in his pocket. I don't know what he was doing, but it was a bad day for old Plexiglass. But anyway, don't be that guy. Get a good holster for your pistol. So that's it for today's video. Like I said at the beginning, this is a little different than videos I normally do, but you'll see over time I'll do videos on all sorts of things. Mostly it's on how we live our lives here. You know, it's we kind of live in the country. We're not in the middle of nowhere, but we have a nice piece of land and we enjoy the outdoors and hunting and like firewooding and just all kind of stuff. We just love being outside. So moving forward, you're going to see all different kind of videos, different projects, and I'll try to do some reviews. I am no expert on any one thing at all, but I know enough about a little bit about everything to get by, if that makes sense. So once again, thanks for watching. Click subscribe and comment below. Let me know where you're from and how you do things. Thanks.